Hello everyone, this is Tim, and this is going to be another little video about my BX campaign. I'm sure these are backwards, that I'm going to be running soon. So for those that don't know, like the basic and expert rules, there's supposed to be like a third booklet that never really came out, and I know there was like some OSR publication that took that spot in this series. Some people get this mixed up with BECMI, basic expert, companion Master Immortals, I think that's how it goes. And then there was like Black Box C&D. That's when I started back like 91, 92. So oddly enough, I never got to play this. Like I said, I played BECMI, which is very similar to this, but each version of D&D has its quirks, and from outside looking in, it's always just D&D, man. Why are you nitpicking or whatever? But for the geeks like us who've been doing this our I don't know, half our lives or more, that those little quirks matter. And some interesting things about basic and expert is it goes up to like level 14, and BECMI has like the breakdown a little different. I know like the thieves percentages are a little different. There's races class, which is not a very popular thing, I think, for most gamers, but it's very simplistic and gets people like right in real quick. And like you're just playing a dwarf, you're playing an elf, and an elf's kind of like a magic user / fighter. So it might not be your cup of tea, but for someone who's like never played this, it can be just fun. Like, here's a dwarf, go. Here's an elf, go. And even though like you might say that a lot of these things are like cookie cutter, or they're very similar, or like every like dwarven fighter, I guess it's just dwarf, but the dwarf would be very similar, if Tom played it and Jerry played that and Samantha played it. But so it might start out that way, but as a campaign progresses, there's magic items that are different. There's choices that are different. Maybe, Samantha touched the demonic idol and the other guys didn't. Like those campaign differences, like you might not see that in the stats or the class progression, but those things add up over time. And one thing I will say with the older editions of D&D, it seems like they're built for just more hours at the table. At least that's the way it feels like to me. The progression is slower. You have to, earn a lot more XP, and the totals are different. But I'm going to give it a shot. So in my gaming club, in my last video, I said I'm going to be running this. I've already got some interested people from outside of my gaming club that want to come to be a player. So I'm really hoping for good things. I'm excited, and BX is pretty rules light. There's not much here. These booklets are pretty short. Basic is 64 pages, and expert is, what is it? It's also 64 pages. So that's not a lot. Like, that's it. This is it. This is all that I'm using. I don't plan to supplement with any rules. House rules, I might do the max hit points at first level. I might give like a bonus to thieves for certain percentages off the start. So I think the dwarf is actually better at some thief skills than the thief. But just little tweaks, maybe like 2 or 3, and that's it. I'm gonna try to run it pretty, rules as written, as much as I can. That's hard for me, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to give that a shot. We've had all kinds of discussions about rules as written and house rules, and I tend to be more loosey goosey. Whatever makes sense, and I'm a big proponent of setting. I don't have like a particular D&D setting in mind. That might change. There is one that's suggested in here. I know that there were various modules and things that were put out for this setting. I know there's a map somewhere in here. I think it's in the, is it next? Yeah, that's right. It's actually in the back of the expert rules. So basic focuses more on dungeons, and expert focuses more on wilderness and higher levels. So you can kind of see the map in here. And honestly, maybe this is enough. Maybe I need to like kind of turn the dial down on my setting lawyerness and just go with the Grand Duchy of Karamakos. I think I pronounced that right. But yeah, I mean, it's just a hex map, if you can see. Different simplistic symbols, and honestly, that's probably all I need. I just need a wilderness type town, someplace to restock and get new characters, and that could be the base of operations, and then the dungeon. And that might be all I start with. I might have a couple different adventure locations picked out. Small niche games, or niche games, however you want to pronounce that. Did some stuff for Labyrinth Lord. Those adventures jump right into this so easily that it's pretty much the same. So I might borrow some of those. But I'm excited. Got some players lined up, and my son's my +1. So yeah, me and him will sit down at the table, and as long as like one other person shows up, I'm good. Like, because I've run games just for my son, and he's run games just for me. So it might be kind of fun to return the favor. Yeah, my son's been running a basic fantasy game, which is an OSR thing for me lately. Not a ton, but it's kind of cool to see him running games. And who knows, maybe one day he'll want to run this version. We'll see. But I guess I had one question to finish this off with. Do you guys have any house rules or suggestions for basic and expert D&D? If you do, just put them down in the comments. Otherwise, like I said, I'm just going to have like maybe 2 or 3 and then just go with that. But that's it. I hope everybody's doing okay out there. Talk to you later.